Hey, it's Bill, out on a little hike today to find a nice stealth camping spot. Back in the 90s, I used to fly a lot, and in Michigan, this is an interesting bit of trivia. In Michigan, a lot of aircraft owners on the west side of the lower peninsula would have to fly their planes to the east side of the state to get certain maintenance done on it, because they were in two different FAA regions. So the region on the east side of the state interpreted a regulation a certain way, and on the west side, that regional office determined that it was illegal for mechanics to do certain things on an airplane that on the east side of the state were legal. So that tells you all about what you need to know about government regulations and stuff sometimes. And of course, the headquarters of the FAA could come up with another interpretation, and that was the one that took precedence over all of them. Well, I heard about this case where a pilot had an enforcement action taken against him, and the judge ruled against him because he had held up an official publication of the FAA with the regulation he thought he was following correctly. And the judge ruled, no, you can't use official FAA publications as a reference. There was apparently some legal record that's published annually in Washington. There's a few hundred copies of it available, and that is the record of source, or the record of record, whatever the term is. That's what you're supposed to use, even though it's virtually impossible for a regular person to access that publication. It probably has 10 or 20,000 pages in it too. So, and what does that have to do with camping? Well, I figure if the federal government can't figure out a way to promulgate regulations where everybody can find them in a legal manner involving something as important as aviation, then what are the odds of the state government putting out regulations about camping in an intelligent manner? We have in Michigan, we have Michigan state parks, Michigan forests, and we have Michigan state game areas. And I'm intending to camp legally in state land, but it's next to impossible on the internet to find what these regulations actually are. I was bringing up internet website forums, web forums from 2004, and the discussions in there, and all of the different state land are being conflated together. Nobody really knows what the rules and regulations are. Even the signs posted up at the parking area are a bit vague and not that helpful. So the idea here is I'm going to find an area well away from any other camping spots or trails, and hopefully a ranger won't come out and find me in the middle of the night, even though I'm not intending to break the law. The other aspect of that too is I just naturally like to be left alone, and you know, if you've ever been in the military as a combat MOS, you know all about noise and light discipline, but chances are you have a few civilian friends that are very noisy and have to have a fire every night and yell at animals in the middle of the dark, in the middle of the night. So I need a spot that's far enough away from any other area that if I have a friend like that along, hopefully nobody will notice. So that's what I'm doing today, looking for a spot such as that. I picked one out that could be good. It's about 500 feet from any other trail, and I looked it up on Google Maps, and so I'm trying to find that now, and we will see if I can find a good hanging spot. I'm a hammock camper now. None of that old laying on the ground stuff. All right, I'll get back to you when I found some more information. Frozen River. there's some good trees for hammocking, or just if you wanted to sleep on the ground. It's somewhat high ground and it's flat, surrounded by these swampy areas, surrounded by these swamps and bogs or fens. And if you get down there, especially in the summer, a lot more bugs. The sides might be a good spot. Of course, this time of year the problem is if you're on, this is somewhat higher ground. There's a trail that way several hundred feet, and there's one behind me several hundred feet. We might be roughly in the middle, but might be visible. In the summer, probably much less so, as it looks like it's going to be pretty heavily vegetated, a lot of leaves covering up. But I'm going to head over in that direction. There's supposed to be a trail somewhere on the other side of this low ground. I'm going to kind of find it and confirm my location, and then we will head back. Maybe I'll find a better spot. I like these low areas because you have these little hummocks that kind of hide you from view from different sides. And they're not quite as low as the swampy areas, so at least part of the year these promise to be drier. All right, onward some more. All right, there's the trail. So where I stopped in the flats there, that was about the halfway point between trails. So it may be a good spot in the summer. It may be a bit exposed this time of year. Of course, that's where I came from. If I did not have companions that needed a fire or flashlights, it would probably be fine. So local noon was roughly an hour and a half ago, and just a few minutes ago I shot in azimuth to the sun. So if this line represents, we'll say, true south, the sun was about 200 degrees or so, 205, in that range. So just walking with the sun on my right shoulder, facing it on my right shoulder, and kind of having that angle on the shadows, I headed pretty much due south to intercept the trail as expected, and that's good. I got turned around here last fall in these woods, so I've make sure now that I bring navigational equipment. I don't know if I talked about that one yet. I'll go back and look at the videos. If not, I will explain it further. It's been a weird winter so far. Temperatures well above normal, very little snow. And we got hit by that snowstorm that half the country got hit by. We got a little bit of snow from that. Then a little later, temperatures plunged to around the teens or 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And then within the matter of about 12 hours, it shot back up to about 40 degrees. And now we're in the upper 20s or lower 30s again. So, of course, all of that would have been fun to go camping in, but I have a job and my days off, and the best camping days didn't necessarily coincide, so it is what it is. We've still got a month or so before we have a right to expect spring temperatures, so I might get a chance to get a hike in, or a camp in, an overnighter in. It would be nice if it was actually cold. None of this 35 degree stuff, cold like 5 or 10 degrees or lower. Because that's really the only way to test your gear, to know if it's going to work when it's cold, is to get cold. Okay, I guess I'll finish it up here. In conclusion, I'll just say follow the rules and don't get caught. Thanks for watching.